Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sibling Chat.
I'm Leia.
I'm LeVaro.
And I'm Maya.
Today, we're going to be talking about our top 3 superhero movies of all eternity.
Dun, dun, dun.
You know.
What?
We go through this every show, Leia. You know
I
how
know.
the show
I'm giving him
goes.
side eye because he knows that I never stick to a list because the's gonna be a new film and
That's
then I'm gonna
fine.
talk about it.
But for this
Anyway,
recording,
let's
you're
go.
gonna have a list.
It's as of today.
All right. What are you gonna do? Jump over your mic and start fighting?
You know what?
We can take it to the streets. All right, so my third movie is The Avengers.
Ooh.
The first Avengers movie.
Okay.
That was a good one.
It's my favorite because I really like the concept of the making. It was really the lead up to it, and it was lead up to the big hype of this movie with them putting out all these, doing a Thor movie and 2 Iron Man movies and then a Hulk movie. And who's the other guy? Oh, they didn't do Hawkeye. Okay, just doing all those movies.
That was some mad subtle shade right
It
there.
was.
Okay.
It was.
Then leading up to this, culmination of all of them coming together, which had never been done before, not that I remember. And it lived up to the hype. The villain Loki was great in it.
Yeah.
Them coming together and fighting each other was great because you got this in the comic books all the time to where heroes are fighting each other or they're
Right.
kind of going at odds with each other. So you can have those who would win between Iron Man and Captain America. Captain America that's the guy I forgot. Iron Man and Captain America fights.
Wait, but that was the Avengers Civil. Wait.
No, this is the first Avengers.
Sorry, when you watch them all together, they start to blend.
Yeah. Because and I like that they're becoming one just long movie now.
Yeah, they really are.
All of it. It was a good coming together of everyone's powers, and it's just a great film. I enjoyed it.
All right, so my number 3 is the Christopher Reeve Superman, the first one.
The first one, not Superman 2.
No, the first one. It's a classic. I love the introduction of. It's probably one of my favorite iterations of the character of Lois Lane. I think it's a really good introduction to Superman because it was probably my first time seeing Superman, maybe even before I watched him in any sort of animated format. And Christopher Reeve is just that perfect balance of adult, but then fighter, but then at the same time very small town. And I felt it was really forced. It looks great.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me. Who's got you?
And his Clark Kent was amazing.
His Clark Kent is amazing, but I also love the fact that he establishes right at the very beginning that being this Clark Kent character who is so quiet and so fumbles all the time. It's sort of how he views humanity, and that's one reason why he feels he needs to protect them because they are
an act.
Right. It's very much an act. It's not this is who I am, and I love that.
We're getting into the Kill Bill speech, but that's the costume.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, I love that.
So my second movie is The Dark Knight. Yes, The Dark Knight.
Okay.
With
I'm waiting for your reasoning.
The movie was excellent. It was
Okay.
one of the best. Actually, it was the best Batman movie there was. Even though Batman himself wasn't, the greatest Batman. Before this Batman, I thought the greatest villain, my favorite villain in all movies was Jack Nicholson's Batman. I mean Joker. And then I had very low expectations for Heath Ledger. I didn't think he could do what Jack did, and he didn't do what Jack did, and he did his own version of it, and it was great. And the thing I like most about him as a villain is that he didn't really want anything, so it wasn't you could say, well, let's just give him what he wants, and then he'll stop. He didn't. It was he just wanted to be.
Yeah,
He's
like human beings are awful. I will prove it.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It was very well written, very well. I liked everything about it.
All right, so my number 2 is Wonder Woman. I really feel like that should be obvious. Patty Jenkins, Wonder Woman, starring Gal Gadot. Chris Pine's there as a love interest. Yeah, it's an excellent representation of a female superhero. It lacks the male gaze, except in the fight scenes, which I'm pretty sure were done by a man.
This is no man's land, Diana. It means no man can cross it, all right?
There should have been much more diversity amongst the Amazons and things like that. Oh yeah, there's definitely critiques about. It's a lot of white feminism in the film, not intersectional feminism, but like, you know, I'm hoping for that's better next time. But ultimately, I do think it's a good film. Like, just as for a female superhero, I think it's a great coming out film as far as like, this is what a female superhero can be. She doesn't have to be, you know, a sidekick. Like, I think it's a great film for that. So yeah, that film is my number 2.
I like Wonder Woman. It's cool.
Yeah.
Not as much as I like my number 1 movie.
And what's your number 1?
My number 1 movie is Black Panther.
LeVaro, you haven't seen it.
I know. But I know what it's about. I've seen 2 trailers for it. And everything about it was amazing. And
everything about the trailers was amazing.
I'm standing by it. I know me, and I know my guy Ryan Coogler, and everybody else involved in the movie. I'm standing by this now, so I don't have to change my list later. Black Panther is my favorite superhero movie of all time.
Well, I hope you're correct the same way that
There's no hope that you need to have because Black Panther, okay. Ryan Coogler's Black Panther, starring Chadwick Bronson. I don't remember that's his name.
Chadwick Boseman.
That's his name.
Boseman.
Is Boswick.
Wait.
Chad. We're gonna call him Chad. You know what? I'm gonna call him
y'all. We're all just throwing around names.
Ryan Coogler's Black
I
Panther,
was right. Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Starring T'Challa is going to be the best superhero movie of all time.
I want it to be.
It is. You don't have to want it. I've already said it. It's done.
Moving on. So my number 1.
You know what I like so much about Black Panther?
You really just?
It's just that the
LeVaro.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You cannot wax on poetically about a film that has not even been released that you have only seen 2 trailers for. We will have a Black Panther episode. No. It will be. It is not even out, not made. I doubt the editing's even finished. Okay, you know what? You gaze off into the distance and imagine that. My number 1 is a
scene with the car and when
you're killing me right now.
I'm sorry. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but go ahead.
Please, once again, he has not seen this movie. This film is not even been released.
No, really. Let's not spoil it for people.
Okay, so my number 1 is a Black superhero who actually has a film, and
like Black Panther.
It has a film that's been released to the public, and it's Meteor Man.
Okay, I like Meteor Man.
Meteor Man is an excellent superhero. It's Robert Townsend. It's about a guy who lives in a predominantly Black neighborhood. A meteor falls from the sky. He gets superpowers, but he's like the superhero that I always wanted a superhero to be, particularly as I got older. He is like, I'm going to build schools. I'm going to clean up neighborhoods. Like physically, like we don't need trash in this neighborhood. He grows he grows a garden so everybody has food and a place that they can actually get their food from so they can eat healthy. Like it's I don't know. It's just what I feel like a superhero should be. Like, I get it. There's wars and there's battles and there's stopping the evil people with the weapons. And I love those. But I just like the idea of a superhero who's truly there for the people in the everyday struggle of basic stuff like getting a meal, having a good education, getting school books. Like, I love this film. When I watched it when I was younger, it was like one of those films, like in addition to Star Trek, that made me be like, I'm going to be a politician to make the world a better place. I'm going to be like Meteor Man. Like, it was that film for me. So cute. I love Meteor Man.
Also, this movie is Black as hell.
It is. It also touched me because of that.
It has a super Black
like
cast.
Robert
Townsend, Marla
cast.
Gibbs, Eddie Griffin,
Yes.
Robert. How do you say his name? Goulion, rest in peace. James Earl Jones, Bill Cosby.
Yes.
Another bad creation. Big Daddy Kane, Sinbad, and Luther Vandross.
Everybody came out for this film because they knew how good it was.
Really?
Yes,
I haven't seen it. Sorry.
It's a great film. Like, I wish they would talk about it more as far as like the superhero films go. You know, because like I appreciate the other Black superheroes. I love Blade. I even enjoyed the Spawn film. I'm very excited for Black Panther, but just like a Black superhero who was here before everybody. Yeah.
So those are our lists, our favorite superheroes.
Yes. Watch them all.
I mean, go see
and then go
Panther.
see Black Panther when it's released, because it's not out
Go
yet.
see Black Panther.
It's not out yet.
It's the best. I mean, it's the best one.
All right, Cousin Maya.
Yes.
You're 3.
So, do you guys want to put them in order for me?
All right. You know, eventually you're going to have to start doing this yourself, Maya.
So I'm on the same vein as Jones as Black Panther will be on my top 3, but because I haven't seen it yet, I can't.
She doesn't
compare.
believe
Thank
the way.
you.
She doesn't
Okay.
believe yet.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Laura.
I'm sorry. But go ahead.
So I'm gonna go.
You know how black this movie is? Like Angela Bassett,
We are.
Chadwick Bronson,
Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita,
We know.
Forrest Whitaker,
We
Michael
know.
B. Jordan.
You realize like everybody in this room is black. We know.
Oh,
So as of today, it is Wonder Woman, The Dark Knight, The Incredibles. Yes.
Incredibles #1, Dark Knight 3, Wonder Woman 2.
no, she.
I
put
said
it-
Wonder Woman, The Dark Knight.
No, I'm right, but you wanted me. This is what I think.
Okay.
No, your list is fine the way it is. Incredibles. What was it? The Dark Knight.
3
and
is
then-
Wonder Woman, 2 is The Dark
Yeah.
Knight, 1 is
and
The
then
Incredibles.
No, that's a good. That's a good
great
order.
list.
Thank you.
Honorable mention: Spider-Man: Homecoming.
is great.
It's great. I was back and
Yes.
forth about putting this one on my list.
Yeah,
I
same,
needed
actually.
an ensemble with the Avengers on mine, but Spider-Man: Homecoming is definitely the best Spider-Man movie ever.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Honorable mention for me is Blade.
Blade 2. And then, the Civil War. Like 5 years ago, this would have been way easier list to put together.
Yeah.
Tell me
But
about
there's
it.
been so much that's
they crank
come
them out a
That's
lot.
true.
these
Okay,
days.
so we're going to
Sorry.
plan all these new episodes coming up about
Yes.
superheroes. Tell us what your top 3 superhero films are, either below in the comments or on some form of social media. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yep.
All right, that's everything. Thanks for the
for the chat.
chat. Bye.